Hello everyone, myself Ketan Bhavsar, Assistant Professor in LG Engineering College, Ahmedabad, in VLSI Design subject, chapter number 4, MOS inverter and its characteristics. And today's topic, we are introducing what exactly the MOSFET inverter is, because the noise margin is one of the main element of MOS inverter, so it is in introduction part. Now, in previous session we discussed about a simple resistive load in terms of inverter, its table, how inverter is actually work. It is a combination of NMOS and PMOS, and also be talking about the N channel resistive load inverter. Now in today's topic we discuss about noise margin. Now what exactly the noise margin is? The first question arises in our mind. So noise margin is actually the capacity of a circuit that noise can be tolerated. Basically, when we use any communication circuit or when we discuss about any types of data which generally transmit from source to the destination, then there are some effect will be produced in the circuit. Now, how this type of the effect will produce in the circuit? Because of the noise margin. So because of the noise margin, your output value will be varying, and if it is connected in the cascading form, then your input value is also varying. As you can see, here is one particular structure of a cascaded inverter that is starting from VOH, VOL, noise. As you can see, we apply here VOH. VOH means output value high. Output value high. So when you apply the output value high to the inverter side, then by default you already know because of the inverter circuit you are getting the output 0. Now you are getting the result here 0. Now suppose you want to transmit the data from the next inverter or to next inverter, then definitely the noise will be added because of the environmental effect, and here the noise will be added. So suppose the output here 0 for this particular inverter, and because of the noise it increasing and it goes to 0 to 0.2 suppose. So it almost VIL, but it is below the threshold value, so definitely you are getting the output VOH, because this inverter will work if ideally if it is greater than 0.5 in terms of digital range 0 to 1. So now here we have a VOH. Now again you apply the noise, and because of the noise your value will be now decreasing, because it cannot goes beyond to 1. So it value because of the noise it increasing, and suppose we are assuming that it is all around 0.7 or 0.8. So ideally it is not below the 0.25 or 0.5 or 0.50, so you are getting here output 0. So you can say that because of the noise variation your output value is not varying, but in terms of the practical situation, if it is increasing more and more noise content, then definitely it will vary your output content. So it's a minimum availability of voltages and maximum availability of voltages. In terms of VOL, VOH, ideally in terms of the digital electronics we focus on the VOL and VOH only. But if you're talking about a VLSI technology, then we have a main 4 element: VOL, VOH as it is, and VIL and VIH, and also one more element, it's VTH. Noise margin is a noise tolerant capacity of digital circuit. So NML is equal to VIL minus VOL, and NMH, the noise margin low and noise margin high, is equal to VOH minus VIH, as you can see from this particular diagram. Because noise margin can be identified when you differentiate the VOH minus VIH, and noise margin low can be identified when you subtract the VIL minus VOL. As you can see from this diagram, you can identify the V in and V out. It's a 0, then by default you are getting the response because of a noise margin. As you can see the bounded area, you can identify its noise margin low. This one is a transient region in terms of the digital point of view. This one is a range from 0 to 1. This one we are considering ideally 0.25. This one we are considering 0.75. And this one is a range from 0.25 to 0.75. So we are considering as a transient region. So we can see it's a 0, and here output getting the 1, It's a noise margin. Now after getting the idea about noise margin, we move ahead to the resistive load inverter. Now, as I already told you in previous session, we already seen this type of the diagram. We are considering the load instead of the PMOS, because resistive load is also work as a PMOS in this particular circuit. We are taking the NMOS. Vin is equal to VGS and Vout is equal to VDS. VDD as a VDD and IR, or IR it's a current of resistive load, or ID it's a drain current ID. So it's a simple diagram. Instead of the PMOS, we are putting the resistive load. So Vin is equal to VGS, that I already told you. Vout is equal to VDS and IR is equal to ID. You can see from this particular diagram, like Vin is equal to VGS, Vout is equal to VDS, IR is equal to ID. So circuit performance. So as I already told you, there are the three types of the region: cutoff, linear and saturation. Input voltage and operating region. If Vin is less than VTO, then it is in cutoff region by default. If the value is below the threshold voltage, then it is in cutoff region. If VTO is less than equal to Vin, less than equal to Vout plus VTO, then it is in saturation region. And if Vin is greater than or equal to Vout plus VTO, then it is in linear region. So here Vin is equal to VGS and Vout is equal to VDS, as you can see in this previous slide. Okay, so these are the operating region. Now VTC, it's a voltage transfer characteristics for the particular circuit. As you can see, we have a range from 0 to Vin. It's a VIL, VIH, Vout plus VTO and VOH, VOL and VOH. So as you can see, it's a linear slope. The value is varying. If you apply the value 0, then output is equal to VDD, and it start varying if you value increase in terms of the VIL, then it start decreasing, and at one particular point it is reached to the saturation point, means there is no variation, and if you increase more and more, then it goes to a linear variation. So basically this particular region we can understand with this particular diagram. For Vin less than VTO, we are in cutoff region. If you V increase, then VTO is less than Vin less than or equal to Vout plus VTO, means you increase in more and more Vout value in terms of the VDS, then it is in saturation region, you can see. And if Vin is greater than or equal to Vout plus VTO, means VGS is greater than or equal to VDS plus VTO, then it is in linear region. So we can easily identify this type of the region when we are talking about the cutoff, linear and saturation region in terms of voltage transfer characteristics. So make sure that each and everyone, that whenever you are talking about the chapter number 4, then VTC is play a main role in each and every element. So VTC is a main part when we discuss about a voltage transfer characteristic or resistive load inverter, in terms of we put a resistive load inverter instead of PMOS. So you can see Vin less than VTO, as I already told you, in this particular region in terms of a cutoff, linear and saturation region. Vin less than VTO, so Vout is equal to VH is equal to VDD. If VTO is less than equal to Vin less than equal to Vout plus VTO, it is in saturation region. So now for the saturation region, we have a equation for the drain current ID for the saturation: mu n Cux by 2 W by L VGS minus VTO whole square. This equation we already proved in chapter number 3 in terms of a saturation region, when you increasing more and more VDS, and because of the pinch off point variation, you can see there is no variation and that the channel will not form at that particular region. So it is in saturation region. So IR is equal to ID, because we already seen the IR is equal to ID. Here you can see. So IR is equal to ID is equal to saturation mu n Cux by 2 W by L VGS minus VTO whole square. So now here, instead of the VGS we put Vin and VTO as it is VTO, and mu n Cux by 2 W by L means mu n Cux W by L we have Kn. So ID saturation is equal to IR is equal to Kn by 2 Vin minus VTO whole square. Now This equation is derived for specifically saturation region, and now we move on the linear region. So Vin is greater than or equal to Vout plus Vto. So ID linear is equal to mu n Cux by 2 W by L 2 into Vgs minus V2 into Vds minus V square ds. So basically this equation is also derived in the linear situation when the channel will be formed between source to drain terminal in terms of the linear region. Fine. So now for a specifically linear region in chapter number 4 for resistive load, so Vgs is equal to Vin and Vds is equal to Vout. So ID linear is equal to Kn by 2 into Vin minus V2 into Vout minus V square out. So basically make sure that whenever we discuss about the resistive load, when we discuss about N-channel MOSFET characteristics, or when we're talking about the noise margin concept, then VGS is equal to Vin, VDS is equal to Vout, and VTO is equal to VTO. That make sure you have to write down the equation in terms of Vin and Vout only, because in this particular design we're talking about the MOSFET, and for the MOSFET we have to apply the inputs, and for that particular inputs it should be in terms of Vin and Vout. So make sure that you have to write down this equation only when we're talking about the chapter number 4. So I hope you are getting the idea about what exactly the resistive load is for in terms of the linear and cutoff region and saturation region, and also we do the equation for the cutoff and saturation in terms of drain current ID, and also we put Vin and Vout instead of VGS and VDS. So now in next session we're talking about resistive load inverter in terms of VOL, VOH, VIL and VIH. So we discuss about what exactly the variation effect when we're talking about the VOL in terms of output low, output high, intermediate low and intermediate high. And we have to prove in terms of the mathematical point of view that what exactly the effect will produce in terms of voltage variations from starting from VOL to VOH, and there are the two intermediate states we discuss about VIL and VIH. So make sure that, but before starting the chapter number 4, I request each and everyone to make sure you have to clear all the fundamentals of chapter number 3. If you know chapter number 3 very well, then and only then you can move on this particular chapter, because ultimately this chapter is totally dependent on chapter number 3. So I hope you are getting the idea about resistive load and its basically VTC characteristics. Now we go into the depth in terms of the calculation of VOL, VOH, VIL and VIH in next session for the resistive load, and similarly for the enhancement and depletion type. Okay, so I hope you are getting the idea about resistive load in terms of the MOSFET, and if you have any doubt then you can contact me. So thank you very much.